Now, Russia's air force has stepped up its efforts against Islamic State's main source of income, namely the terrorist oil empire. The illegal crude is smuggled into Turkey on an industrial scale. Jihadists make millions of dollars selling cheap crude on the black market, making ISIL the richest terrorist organisation possibly ever. Ankara has denied ever buying Islamic State's oil. Let's discuss this in more depth now with Dr. Mowaffak al Rubaie, member of the Iraqi Parliament and the country's former national security advisor. Dr. al Rubaie, many thanks for joining us on RT. What do you personally know about the extent of ISIL's oil smuggling into Turkey?
In the last 8 months, ISIS has managed to sell what's worth $800 million worth of oil in the black market of Turkey. This is Iraqi oil and Syrian oil, and these are carried by trucks from Iraq, from Syria through the borders to Turkey and sold in a less than 50% of the international oil price. So it's always sold. It has been always sold in the region of $20 to $21, $22 for the barrel. Now, this either get consumed inside, the crude is refined in the on the Turkish territory by the Turkish refineries and sold in the Turkish market, or it goes to Jihan and then in the pipelines from Jihan to the Mediterranean and sold to the international market. So the ISIS has made a lot of money. This is like oxygen, you know. Once you cut the oxygen, then the ISIS will suffocate, and this is the oxygen supply, money and the dollars generated by selling Iraqi and Syrian oil in the Turkish black market is like the oxygen supply to ISIS and its operation. Now, this is number one. Number two, there are still some jihadists filtering through from all over the world in Istanbul as a hub for these jihadists, and trickling or percolating down to the Syrian Turkish borders and Iraqi Turkish border. Now, I would like to ask Mr. Erdogan. He's been violating the Iraqi airspace for the last 12 years, at least since 9th of April 2003 until this moment of time, claiming that he is trying to attack and target PKK and YPG. Now, and also what is happening in between Turkey and ISIS. Let me tell you something which is not being reported well in the international press, and that's the treatment of the wounded terrorist from ISIL. They get treatment in the Turkish hospitals near the borders and inside the hospitals, and we have report from our intelligence agencies. We have cross-matched this, and they've told us that there are still, even in the wounded ISIL fighters get treated in Istanbul itself.
Dr. al Rubaie, you mentioned the supply of oil and where it's being refined. Another key aspect, who's buying it?
Well, the merchants, the businessmen, the Turkish businessmen in the black market in Turkey, and under the noses, under the auspices, if you like, of the Turkish intelligence agency and Turkish security apparatus. And there is no shadow of doubt in my mind that Turkish government know about this very well, and they're turning a blind eye to it.
You mentioned the incursions into Iraqi airspace. Do you think that Erdogan is being hypocritical then with Turkey shooting down of that Russian bomber?
Well, I think this is a provocative act of Erdogan. He wanted to boost the morale of his people and his popularity, and this is for domestic consumption. I don't think this is going to make any difference in the fight against ISIL. And I can tell you one thing. This is from my previous life experience. If Erdogan and his government does not come clean and fight ISIL themselves, they will get this fire will get to Istanbul, and in no time we will see VBID car bombs and suicide bombers and all sorts of terrorist acts in the street of Istanbul and Ankara.
And another controversial element of the Turkish relationship to Syria is the border, the lack of border control. Many people asking, why is the flow of incoming want-to-be ISIL members not cut off? Why is that border not being closed between Turkey and Syria?
There is no doubt in my mind that there is the security office. There are security officers who are sympathizing with the ISIL in Turkey, and they are allowing them to percolate and infiltrate from Istanbul to they move from Istanbul to the borders and then go through the border to Syria and then to Iraq. And this cannot happen. And I'll tell you one thing, this is from my previous life. There is no terrorist organization which can stand alone without a neighboring country helping it. Like now, in this case, Turkey. There is no doubt that Turkey is helping in an indirect way or in a very subtle way. That they're helping ISIL, and unless they come clean and they come very, very clear in the effort, in the international effort, whether it's the international effort led by United States of America or the effort now which is led by Russia, and also I have to tell you that we in Iraq, where I sit in Baghdad, we are benefiting great deal from the coordination, intelligence coordination of the coordination cell, which is based in Baghdad between Iran, Iraq, Syria, and Russia.
Our guest this hour, Dr. Mowaffak al Rubaie, member of Iraqi Parliament, former National Security Advisor to Iraq. Dr. al Rubaie, many thanks for joining us.